Viewers, let's call out the doubter lobby. The self-appointed prophets of doom who've been mocking India's rise. You know who they are. The echo chambers of, the critics, the opposition's top voices led by Rahul Gandhi, his loyalists. They declared our economy is dead. They mocked our military might. Now the reality is hit hard. Excuse me. India is alive, thriving and mazboot. I am not saying this. The numbers bear out the facts. Rahul Gandhi echoed Donald Trump and said, Indian economy is dead, Modi killed it. Here's the fact check, viewers. India's GDP marked a growth of 8.2% in July to September quarter, defying Trump tariffs, global headwinds, and the gloomy propaganda. Let's talk about the military might. The lobby mocked Operation Sindoor. Rahul said we don't even know whether Operation Sindoor was a success. Now here's the verdict from the Lowy Institute's Asia Power Index 2025. India at third place with 40-point score, officially a major world power. Strong economy and a powerful military. Now let's quickly open this up. Tehseen, will Rahul Gandhi concede Indian economy is not dead?
Two things. Yeah, we're all very happy that the GDP growth for this quarter has been 8.2%. But there has been certain worrying signs that we should all be very concerned about. Number one is the jobless growth. Unemployment is about 15 million as of 2025. Number two, that we should be extremely concerned about is the debt to GDP ratio that is growing, because they're not counting the state debt into the overall debt into the equation. So these are two things that as a nation we should be concerned about. Number three, nobody believes that Operation Sindoor was ever won by Pakistan.
Rahul Gandhi said we don't even know whether Operation Sindoor was a success. His words. He said it.
Please allow me to finish. I think we smashed Pakistan in Operation Sindoor. But the place where Pakistan scored was propaganda. And it is this propaganda that the honorable leader of opposition...
No. So if you're calling it Pakistani propaganda, tell me one thing. Why is Rahul Gandhi adding to the Pakistani propaganda by saying we don't know?
Adding.
Of course he is. When he says we don't know whether Operation Sindoor was a success, Rahul Gandhi is very much adding to the Pakistani propaganda.
No,
these are his words. Rahul Gandhi said so. Dr. Muni, is the Indian economy dead? आज आपने GDP numbers देखे होंगे. अब बोल दीजिए फज्ड है, GDP चोरी या कुछ ऐसा बोल दीजिए.
प्रणेश भाई, मैं आपको हमारे प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी and Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman ji said that IMF grading is the most important factor in deciding GDP growth. IMF today graded Indian GDP calculation to be in C grade, means it's faulty and overestimates, which is why India's GDP looks bigger than it really is. India is still using 2011 prices to calculate today's GDP. Like for example, a phone that cost 10,000 in 2011 now costs 50,000, but the government still counts it as is 10,000. So the growth is huge when they actually just price rise, inflation hai. So and I am not saying that. Mr. Arvind Subramaniam, who was the chief economic advisor, said that real growth is probably...
Okay, so you believe these numbers are fudged, okay? That is the meat of your argument. The Tuhin Sinha.
Rahul Gandhi calling India dead economy is one thing. He is a fundamentally negative person. He has a negative view of things. That's one thing. But please remember, when did he call it a dead economy? He was basically replicating, he was basically echoing, the remarks of President Trump. And that is what raises a bigger question. The alacrity, the desperation to toe the voice of somebody who is looking down at India at that point of time. Yes, the GDP growth has been phenomenal. It was projected to be 7.4%. It's 8.2%. And please understand, it's also at a time when the tariff impact was supposed to show. So we have completely, the fundamentals of our economy is so strong that we have completely negated that impact. And of course, Rahul Gandhi has no idea of the kind of investments going in green shoot sectors like the space economy, like AI economy, the renewable energy economy. So, I think Rahul Gandhi needs to educate himself little more about what is happening, the scale at which things are happening in the economy. And, of course, it's not a debate where I put forth certain figures because Rahul Gandhi would not trust them any which way.
Taran?
Just one statement to puncture the logic of our good friend Akashdeep Muni. He just said, "Ye inflation hai." Pranesh, do you know what is the inflation rate right now? It's 0.25%. Inflation in the last 11 years has been less than 5%. So even by that logic, it cannot be inflation, even by his convoluted logic. Pranesh, it's an unbelievable feat, and a feat for which this government needs to be applauded. You know, when the tariffs hit us, yes, it was a jolt. 33% of our export to US was hit, but still our exports went up. And credit for that goes to the government, which at that point of time said we have to tap new markets. And you will be happy to know, Pranesh, engineering goods and pharmaceuticals, their exports to Japan increased by 12%. UK, textiles and food products increased by 26%. South Korea, electronics and auto parts, they searched for new markets. Now, this is what the government should do always. They have to be proactive. When you sense a calamity, instead of speaking about doomsday and calling it a dead economy, this government found a solution and fixed it.
That is what governments do. वो believe नहीं कर रहे हैं. What will you tell them, Taran?
अब वो delusion का तो कोई है ही नहीं ना. And तहसीन जी बोल रहे थे प्रोपेगेंडा. सबसे ज्यादा प्रोपेगेंडा अगर किसी का हुआ है वो नरेंद्र सरेंडर का हुआ है जो पाकिस्तान ने प्ले किया है. सबसे ज्यादा अगर प्रोपेगेंडा हुआ, चिदम्बरम ने कहा ये होम ग्रोन टेररिस्ट थे. तो प्रोपेगेंडा में भी सबसे ज्यादा फ्यूल अगर किसी ने किया, इट वाज राहुल गांधी, इट वाज द कांग्रेस पार्टी.
तहसीन,
just 2 points. Manufacturing as percentage of GDP is slumped to 13%, the lowest since 1967. FDI has slumped to 0.8% as a factor of GDP, lowest since 2008, which was at 3.6%. There are problems. I think the Indian economy is doing well, but there are structural problems.
No, 1 minute. So if you if you're saying the Indian economy is doing well and there are problems, no one is saying that there are no problems. Obviously, nothing is perfect. 1 minute. But Tehsin, if you know somebody like you is conceding that the Indian economy is doing well, you know, why is Rahul Gandhi so fixated about calling the Indian economy dead? Why?
I'll explain to you. Because the growth in the Indian economy, while it's doing well, is uneven. It's not trickling down. For example, my friend Tuin spoke about AI new age industry. There is the laws for AI have still not been codified, as a result of which every AI fintech is moving to Dubai. For example, Tuin, crypto is illegal in India, but is taxed legally in India. You don't have laws for it. So your AI fintech is all moving to Dubai.
So which is why Indian economy is dead. Let me give you a political parallel. Congress won 6 seats in Bihar. Is the Congress dead in Bihar?
The Congress is rising across the nation. But
the Congress is rising, but Indian economy is dead.
No, but just like the Congress wins more seats in other places and less in Bihar, similarly, the Indian economy has a structure which is not even, and I think that's fine to discuss. Why are we shying away from discussing it?
Karan?
No, everybody has welcomed, suggestions, Tehsin. But when someone says it's a dead economy, that's an insult. That's playing into the hands of Donald Trump, who went on to say this. But Pranesh, one more exciting thing, as far as the PSUs goes, because the Congress party at times says that PSUs are being drained off. LIC, SBI, record earnings, record revenue. Now that cannot, there is no 2011 mechanism to monitor that. When your revenues go up, when your earnings go up, when your defense exports go up by 30 times. So, you have to look at it in perspective.
For something to counter you, but Tuin Sinha.
Pranesh, मैं आपको कुछ फिगर्स बता रहा हूं. हमारी स्पेस इकोनॉमी आज $10 बिलियन पर है. What is the estimate in 2035? $50 billion. That is the big, hairy, audacious goal approach which we are pursuing. Our AI industry today stands at $21 billion. What is it expected in 2035? $260 billion. Of course, there are creases. There are creases which we have to sort out, smoothen. But that doesn't mean that you call an economy dead, because when you call an economy dead, you are insulting every young entrepreneur. You are insulting every
Muni,
young
you have the last
employee
word.
who's
Will
working
Rahul Gandhi apologize for calling Indian economy dead? Yes or no?
See, that's him to answer.
No, you tell me. अभी तो आप पूछ रहे थे सबको अपना view. You tell me.
No, that's him to answer. That's him to answer. How can I say that what you will do or what Rahul Gandhi will do?
Dr. Muni, you believe Indian economy is dead?
Pranesh, just 10 seconds. Give me 10 seconds. Pranesh, remember COVID? COVID, millions of small businesses shut down. People lost jobs, but still GDP figures showed good growth. Even during demonetization, it showed 8% growth. So car vanished, trucks stopped, factories slowed. Still, how is it?
Check the source. Just check the source. Dr. Muni will have this conversation again. For want of time, we'll have to wrap this up. I thank all of you for joining us on India Upfront, viewers. The news are Friday Spotlight with Navika Kumar on the other side.